We got some tea. Look at that. Tea time. I look like poop. My bad. So I seen a video today that reminded me of this.
I got pregnant and I was just like, what, like a month pregnant? Like, that shit should be easy to fucking hide. Like, I wasn't even showing. This bitch came in my room like I had a dream. I was like, okay, Martin, what was it? You're pregnant, Daha! I was like, what do you mean? What the fuck? She said, I had a dream and you're having twins. They're gonna be girls. I was like, because I am pregnant, but I didn't know I was having twins. Like, this bitch is crazy. We went to the hospital for an ultrasound. Sure enough, twins. One, two.
And I know I've done a video talking about this stuff. One of the stories I'm going to say, I know I already told you guys, but whatever, you're going to hear it again. Because I realized those videos are very old. Like, it's been quite a few years since I had made a video talking about this. So I guess, you know, there's been some changes and some discoveries and different stories now. More experiences have been happening. There's a bunch of birds. I feel like a Disney princess. There's a bunch of birds over here. They're all flying over here. Oh boy. Back in 2015, I had discovered that I'm an empath, and an empath is somebody who is able to feel like the emotions of others type thing, just to kind of like simplify it. And for me, sometimes like it comes off like I'm reading people's minds, which isn't really it. It's just like strong emotions. Say you're thinking something with a strong emotion to it, I kind of hear it. That was 2015, I discovered that. And then this last year, 2018, I had noticed some like changes in abilities, something else going on. Like, that is not what an empath does. Well, I figured out that I'm something called a clairaudient, and it's like a type of psychic, but it's very auditory. Like, you I don't mean to say, oh, I hear voices, but I hear voices, like, in a way. Like, I hear spirit, like I hear my spirit guide talking to me, and it sounds like your own thinking voice. So a lot of people don't even realize that this is what's happening. I would just get like these random thoughts that didn't feel like my own thought, if that makes sense. It was like something I was thinking, but it feels different. It doesn't feel like me. That's a spirit like talking. So I had made this discovery because there were some things that had been happening that I might have said these things on the channel. I don't remember. I'm sorry. I make so many videos, so if this is all, you guys already know this, my bad. But there was some stuff that happened that made me realize that this was more than empath. But empath and clairaudiency goes hand in hand, because a lot of times empaths grow into it, if that makes sense. So I'm going to tell you guys an empath story, and then I'm going to tell you a clairaudient story. Okay, scratch all that. The reason I was going to tell you guys old stories is because almost all the new ones they involve other people, but they're like really sensitive subjects. So I was like, out of respect, I'm not going to talk about it because I don't want to like make anybody upset. But I got permission to say these two stories. Now, this first one is sad. This happened before my relationship with Fuzz. I was with somebody else at this time. We'll call him Foxy, and we're gonna call the girl Reagan. One night, me and Foxy were hanging out together, and we were having this issue where we could never hang out alone. Like we are always off doing something with our group of friends, or we were hanging out with them somewhere, or you know what I mean? Like, it was never just me and Foxy, which normally is fine, except That's literally it. The only time we ever spent together was when we were with them. So I wanted to have like real solid alone time. So I put my phone on airplane mode. It had been like that since I got there. I hadn't even touched it. A couple hours had went by. I think we were talking about shows and stuff, and we had started smoking some hookah, which, don't smoke, kids. I really don't, but like I'll do stuff like that every once in a while. And apparently smoking hookah like focuses my weird psychicness, because every single time me and Foxy smoke hookah, something fucking weird would happen because of me. We were sitting there and we were smoking, and all of a sudden I got this icky feeling. And like I said, we weren't talking about anything. Like, I'm pretty positive we were talking about pizza, like, because we were going to order a pizza. But we were smoking and I got this icky feeling. And then I heard, Reagan is not okay. You need to call her. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And so I looked at Foxy. It was like I went from ha 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 to something's wrong with Reagan. Like, I like was looking Foxy in the face when I did that, and he was just like, the fuck? Like, what do you mean? Like, what? Like, that was random. And so I grabbed my phone. I had this feeling to go look at Facebook. And I seen that Reagan had just posted, like a couple minutes before, this very long, emotional post that, like, it was very concerning. And I looked at Foxy and I showed him the post, and he's looking at it, and like, he was with me the whole time. He's seen that I had not touched my phone the entire time we were there. It was on airplane mode. There was no way that I could have known something was wrong. I might have texted her, but I just remember calling her and calling her and calling her. Like, I called her like crazy. I was I went into like harassing stalker mode. Like, she's usually pretty quick answering the phone. So it wasn't like her to not answer the phone. So I was just like, you're gonna ring a ding ding. Here I am. Answer the fucking phone, bitch. I was not letting it go. That feeling was getting worse inside of me. And I kept hearing, you need to get a hold of her. You need to get a hold of her. You need to get a hold of her. Like, I just kept hearing it. Like, it was very persistent. And finally, I got a hold of her. So normally she's like a really hyper person who answers the phone with like a lot of energy and like, hey, what's up? Like, you know, but she answered the phone. She was like, hey, like very monotone, very low energy. And like, that was not normal. So I was like, hey, what's going on? What's wrong? And like, nothing's wrong. Everything's fine. Like, she was talking very monotone, and I was like, no, nope. Nope. Yo, nope. I see through your bullshit. I don't remember what was said after that, but eventually I got her to come hang out with me and Foxy. Like I said, I heard them talking to me, and I'm just like, I have to get her here. So I did, and she broke down when she got here. She started crying, and she just let out everything that was bothering her, or what was the problem right now. And like, she'd been building some stuff up, so she just released all of that. We watched movies, we ate pizza, and had a good night. Later on, when it was just me and her, she had told me she was headed towards one of the bridges in town, and she was planning to jump off of it. So when I called her, she was heading to the end. Like, that's what was happening. When she told me that, I realized that that icky feeling I had got before I got the, you need to call her, I realized I knew that feeling. I had recognized it before, because when I was younger, I was suicidal. And whenever I would hurt myself, there was like this feeling that would overcome, this weirdly gross, dark feeling. And I realized that was the feeling I was having. It was a suicidal feeling. I just didn't realize it at the time. It like clicked, and I realized that I was picking up on her feelings, and my guide was telling me
to get a hold of her. Oh shit. Every time I'm like, I got this, I'm not gonna cry, everything's gonna be fine, I can do this, I start crying. She managed to get her life together and she's doing really awesome, so there's no need to worry about her, she's okay now. But I wanted to share that story with you guys because that was one of the times where it was both the empath and the clairaudient thing happening. This next one's gonna be a really short story, but it's a little funnier, so I wanted to like leave this one as the last note here. So I have a tendency to lose contact with my online friends. There's this big group of online friends that I talk to, and we usually talk in like a little chat, like group chat or whatever, and I went MIA for a while, you know, especially with school and everything, and that's my bad, and I know some of you guys are watching and I'm really sorry. One of them is a close friend of mine, so of course me and her always talk. With her too, like we'll drift off, come back, drift off, come back. And we're gonna call her Barbie, and then the other person we're gonna call Grim. And we were catching up one night, so I had her on Skype, and we're sitting there, we're talking, we're shooting the shit. We were probably talking for like hours by the time this happened. She was like, by the way, I found out that someone in our group has a crush on me. I looked at her and I said, Grim, right? She fucking lost her mind when I said that to her, and she was like, what? What do you mean? How did you know that? How could you have known that? Because keep in mind, I had been MIA for months. I hadn't talked to anybody. It wasn't like I had witnessed him flirting with her or something like that. In fact, Grim, I think, is one of the more quiet ones and like doesn't really talk that much at all. So it was like one of those things where it's like there's no way that I could have known that, because she didn't tell me. She never, you know, this was her first time talking to me about it, because it was private, it wasn't public, it wasn't, you know, there's no way for me to have known. I said it just so like matter of fact and like like, yeah, Grim, like I knew that. I feel like that was such a cute story, and then she was just like, well, yeah, now we're like talking and da 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 da, and like she's being all cute about it, and now they're together. Like, that one is more common that happens with me. Like, I just will know shit. Well, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, my little rainbows. Trade!
And that's what I'm gonna do. So fuck you.
I believe it was either